Why do we really want to speak about CGI?
CGI videos took over the internet for the last 6 months since we saw the Maybelline viral experience. We named these CGI videos fake out-of-home ads. They're using a scene that we already know and integrating some 3D modeling and video manipulation tactics to fool the person who is watching it. And I think the main drive behind this virality was the question of if it's real or not. So like there's a subway coming into your way on a video, but it has eyelashes and there's a huge mascara over it, just perfectly puts the mascara on the eyelash. And when people see this on a realistic scene, the subway is coming, this the scene they know, and there's some weird elements to it, and you want to watch it again just to make sure what you just saw, if it's real or not. That feeling, I think, pushed people to share it, and I think it was an amazing success.
So it has an impact on people when they see it at the first time. And the impact, as far as I understand, is they question it if it's real or not.
Yes, I think that was one of the main reasons behind this.
Curiosity.
Curiosity was the point of interest here, and it led people to share for their friends to experience something similar. I think that was pretty successful and took over the internet, and we'll talk more about like if it's going to stick or if it's going to evolve. And I think pretty much everyone is doing it right now.
Yeah, and many of them go really successful, right? Those content that's pushed out there, we see that many of them reach to more people than other types of contents. I think there was a data that was really interesting to me. CGI videos actually get 4 times more watched.
I saw a similar study. They analyzed the last 10 posts they posted, like regular videos, photos of their products on their Instagram, and compared to these fake out-of-home ads where they use the CGI technology to manipulate the video. As you mentioned, like they're like 4 or 5 times more watched. And I think that was a pretty good concept, and there's some good experiences and good examples, and I think we've been seeing a lot of examples that are missing the point, I guess.
Missing the point?
When I say missing the point, I think these videos again like went viral because of a reason of the curiosity, and people were questioning if those were real or not. And then at one point you want to use this new technology. You saw one brand created this, got like 10x views on their product video, and you want to do it. You look at the technology, it's like there's a video, there's a real world footage, and you add some CGI elements to it, and that's the technology, right? When you start with the technology, I think you're not finding the point. And we always talk about medium is the message, and we've been talking about this concept for a while now. And YouTube has its own audience. You mostly put your like long format videos there. For TikTok, you have a specific audience. You need to shoot a different type of content, or at least you need to modify your content. If you're a pretty successful YouTuber, doesn't mean that you drag and drop that video on TikTok and you just wait to be successful there just because your YouTube videos were performing. And same thing for Instagram or Snapchat. All these mediums need a specific content for their own audience. And what I was expecting from brands or like creative agencies to be more focused on what was the reasoning behind this viral effects, not the technology side. When you just focus on the technology side, yes, you can do it, but it really misses the idea of a surprise, right? Like you have this realistic scene and something unexpected comes out of it. Like if I see Godzilla on a high-rise building, I know pretty much that's fake. And if you attach that idea to your brand, I know you're using the technology in a way, but it really misses the point, I guess.
Sounds like it needs to be having some sort of an element of reality and combining it to create more curiosity, perhaps.
Blending realistic scenes with something that may really happen or not, and just give that question. I think that's the creative side of it.
Do you think it means it needs to involve some sort of a storytelling so that it can combine with the branding, the marketing strategy of the brands?
When we talk about storytelling, I guess it needs a little bit more time. CGI videos, most of them pretty successful ones, they're like 7 to 10 seconds. And in those 7 seconds, it's really hard to tell a story. But if you have a core message and if you can blend that idea into the scene that you're talking about, I think that creates the perfect thing. Creating simple things are hardest things. In that 7 seconds, you're trying to give a message and try to tell a story. It is really hard, and I think we're seeing these in the examples, right? Some of them got really successful, and some of them use the same video footage that has been available for free online, and they throw out some 3D models on top of it, expecting amazing results out of it. Doesn't really make sense, right? Just doing it to do it, I don't think it will just be a successful story at the end.
Sounds like in order to avoid that, there should be people that already have experience and expertise in the field to support other brands or companies or teams that don't have any experience in those. That might be a very important point for them if they will be doing it for the first time.
I think you're definitely right. The creative agency that you're working needs to understand this new medium, and you need to be thinking about the limitations, and you need to know where the customers or the viewers are going to feel the passion to share and watch more and more. I think that's the expertise of these companies who've been creating these videos, and they have the right expertise and the creative idea and the mindset to focus on these. And I don't think that's just limited to the technology. Technology is a really small piece of the ideation process and the planning of the whole experience.
As a content creator myself, what I think about it is there's a hook typically in those short form videos like TikTok, Reels and stuff like that. And CGI integrates really good in those, especially the first 3 seconds really determine if this video is going to be watched and reach out to more people. It can be used in those kind of videos really effectively. What do you think brands should be careful about when they looking for a CGI option to reach to more people, spread their message to more people, and make themselves remembered more?
I'm just taking a step back. We just need to understand if this format is staying in our lives. We need to see like if brands continue pushing more of this content, or if it's up to a point where actually I saw a Godzilla come to this high rise, and if I record that video and everyone will think it's fake. Is it up to that level? Is it overused right now? I'm not really sure about that industry, and people will see how it's going to evolve in our lives. And I'm not sure if it's at a point where I can say, yes, brands create budgets for 2024. How much budget do they have for creating a content like this? Or are they going to spend money on like regular videos or photos? I'm not sure if this is still a budget item or if this trend will continue rising up in the 24 season.
Yeah. Well, interesting. It will be really interesting to explore. What do you think the future of CGI will be like?
We've been trying to use augmented reality for the last 8 years, and at one point Snapchat and Instagram opened their platforms for developers like us to create experiences there. We've been creating like thousands of experiences for brands. When we work with a brand, we create this experience where I can use myself or like use my surroundings to add augmented reality. And almost in all our successful projects, we worked with a producer to shoot a video using that augmented reality experience in a way to give that idea of creating a high-end video that really makes people question if an experience is real or not. I think this became pretty successful. Next step, I see this is merging with augmented reality, where you give a tool to your customer to create a similar experiences to the thing that they saw, right? What I'm trying to explain here is I see a CGI video, gives me an idea, and I can replicate that using augmented reality, using a lens from that brand. And by doing this, all the followers can get into this trend, trying to create their point of view and shoot a similar video. I think this will be a pretty complementary addition to the CGI videos. So it's like not just something pushed from the brand and try to give the message. You give that message to your followers, and the people who love the brand now have a tool using augmented reality to replicate that experience or create their point of view from that same place or their own surroundings, and they can start creating content to make this more viral.
I see. It sounds like a bit similar to augmented reality filters on social media platforms. How different do you think it will be connected together?
I think they'll be complementary. You know, like the brand will shoot the CGI video, like fake out of home. You'll have this content by creating an augmented reality filter or an effect on Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok. You can give this tool to your customers to be creative pretty much with the tool that you give them. And the beautiful thing with augmented reality effects is that like when brands pushes a content online, you pretty much give one-way messaging and your viewers consume that content and that's done, right? But you start the experience there, you give your fan base a tool to create a content using your tool, and then you reach to your follower's follower in a way. You follow a brand, you consume their content. Now we have a tool to create content using their tool, and then your followers now can experience your point of view. So this gives an opportunity for your followers to create these videos in a pretty viral way. What I'm trying to say is I think we had a pretty good experience. It was pretty viral when PlayStation 5 came out. So someone created a PlayStation box as an Instagram filter. A girl put that Instagram filter box into his boyfriend's bedroom and shot a video or a photo of it and said, "Look at your present." And once you receive that, you think it's real because it looks real. It's in your bedroom. And you create that content in 5 seconds. I think that's an amazing opportunity to extend the experience from the CGI videos to the person that you know. I know like you can create this in Photoshop or something. Like if you're a pro Photoshop user, you can easily take a photo, import that into your computer, drag and drop a photo of a PlayStation. Of course, you can do it. That was available, but not everyone is used to that process, right? Now you're on Instagram. You place it perfectly. You can even shoot a video of it. You can record it from all these different angles. Talk to your boyfriend about, hey, look at this. I got you this brand new thing and it's in your bedroom. And I think it gives a much amazing tool, pretty easy to use, easily distributed. I think it was one of the perfect uses of augmented reality at that time, at that scenario. And like how I see this merges with the CGI is pretty much about this idea. They really complement each other.
Yeah, and also, like, as you are explaining to it, what I imagine is probably in future, as we will have more of the VR technology spreading, hardware technology evolving. Now, one of the things I've been seeing is this transparent screens that
with the Apple Vision.
It seems like we will have a way more immersive experiences when it comes to maybe shopping, when it comes to interacting with products and with brands. We're going to proceed with the sustainability part of questions perhaps, but I'm just curious, how do you see it with combining with VR and all these hardware evolving, and we will probably have more augmented reality in our daily lives more often?
We start seeing these futuristic headsets, especially like Apple is dominating the market for design and products. People love it. And we've been seeing headsets from different brands. They all have different approaches to it. And brands are discussing this in between each other as well. We started seeing these dystopian future, right? So people start wearing the Apple Vision Pro outside just to be cool or like for the sake of the experimenting it. And I totally appreciate the idea behind it. Maybe going to that dystopian future, I'm not really sure. They look pretty crazy at this time, but you know, as we think about like the evolution of like computers from like huge rooms to like amazing processing powers like palm of our hand. This happened in 20 years. We've been talking about these headsets for the last 10 years. I remember like when I was saying like in 10 years, this will be coming into our lives. These are the first products that has been used. It's not crazy to think about there'll be a lens in my eyes 10 years from now talking to you. And there's a script here and I can watch the soccer game that I want to watch right now while talking to you in a way, right? So all these experiences are creating new mediums of advertising, CGI, out-of-home ads. These are new areas brands used to use the outside platforms for their billboards and their advertisement units. Now they can add an element to it, take that experience, add some social elements to it, post it on social media to create this fake out-of-home ad format, and then support that with an augmented reality lens. We're going into that, and I think brands will have a budget to connect all these and create connected campaigns.
I'm thinking about before mobile phones, it wasn't something that we were used to seeing people on a screen in a public transport and places like that. And now we started seeing people going like this from where they are sitting. It's probably going to be in the new normal. Do you think so?
I don't know. We'll all see, I guess.